Well, the football playoff committee has met again, and Alabama finds themselves on the outside looking in once more. Now Alabama is number 5 again, as they were leapfrogged by TCU. I, for one, am a little concerned about the playoff committee. They do seem to be very politically correct and trying to make every effort to get other conferences in the playoff rather than the Southeastern Conference and other Southern football teams. It does seem to be faulty thinking to have TCU leapfrog Alabama. They have similar records against top 25 teams. Alabama's strength of schedule is 5th compared to 20th or so for TCU. They played a common opponent. Remember back when Alabama handled West Virginia very well but did not dominate in the fashion they were expected to. But if you remember a couple of weeks ago, West Virginia almost beat TCU, and TCU had to pull it out at the very end. So I think there is some bias against the SEC in the committee. But if Alabama wins out, they will certainly be in the playoffs. As for the game this Saturday, Las Vegas has Alabama as a 7-point favorite. I think we can look to Vegas and the bettors for some unbiased truth about college football. They don't really have a horse in the show. They don't really have a sentimental favorite necessarily. They bet for money. They're out to see, if they can make money off college football. They're very informed about it. And not only do they still have Alabama favored to get in the playoff, they still have Alabama as the favorite to win the playoff. Okay, Mississippi State comes to Tuscaloosa this weekend, number 1 team in the nation. A few points to make about that. Alabama at home is winning the games by an average of over 40 points. Mississippi State has the 120th pass defense in football. That's at the bottom if you keep count. So I think it'll be up to Blake Sims to do some good throws and let Lane Kiffin mix in some mismatches on the passing game. We're not sure what our running backs look like as far as injury. TJ certainly is banged up and has the bad ankle, and we're a little thin at running back. Certainly one of the things that Alabama has shown a tendency to struggle with is running quarterbacks, and one comes to town this Saturday. But if history is any indicator, Alabama should be able to handle the challenge. In the past, Prescott has done very little damage to Alabama. In closing, I would like to make a comment on Coach Saban's comment about comparing Dak Prescott to Tebow, and some people said gave a little stab at Tebow because they said that, and his quote was that Prescott reminded him a lot of Tebow, and then he said, but he really can pass well too. I think what he meant was, no disrespect, or Tim Tebow has much better numbers any way that you slice it as a passer than did Dak Prescott, and I think Coach Saban is well aware of that. Alabama lost an SEC championship game pretty much because of Tim Tebow's passing. I think all that Saban meant in that was that as far as a runner, they reminded him of each other, and not so much as a passer. Well, it's going to be a tough road to hoe for the Alabama Crimson Tide. They face Mississippi State this weekend, the Iron Bowl. Though they lost to Texas A&M, Auburn is still a very good, very dangerous football team. They come to town as well. And then there will have to be and then if we win out through the conference, we'll have to go to the championship game and play the champion of the East. It does seem like it'll be a tough road to hoe, but if Alabama can continue to win, they certainly will be in the playoffs, and I think Vegas, and a lot of other people who know a lot about football feel pretty good about their chances of winning in the playoff. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and make comments below.